for Excel exercise number 4, the Markdown Forecast tab, we will now be marking down all of the styles with a sell-through percent of less than 20%. These are considered slow sellers because in the last 4 weeks of sales, we have only sold through about 20% of the inventory. So these styles are moving slow. They can be considered a liability to us if we do not get out of them. So we now need to go ahead and mark them down to help generate more sales on the styles, because generating more sales on the styles at a lower price for us is better than generating no sales on the styles at a higher price. So we need to try to mark these styles down so we can go ahead and get rid of them. Let's go back to our merchandise data tab to see what styles we will be marking down. So we have our Roxy Fleece Pullover Hoodie with only 5% sell-through, Billabong Fleece Hoodie 15.8% sell-through, our O'Neill Fleece Pullover at 13.4% sell-through, and a Roxy Knit Short Sleeve Logo Tee at 19.4% sell-through. These 4 styles have a sell-through of less than 20%, so these will be the styles we are marking down. Let's go ahead and copy the styles and copy our style numbers. Let me go ahead and copy them once again. So now we need to see how many units each of these styles have remaining on hand. I will go ahead and copy the units, and I will paste them in here as well. So we have the original unit retail of these units. Let's go ahead and copy those as well and paste them into our tab. So we can see we have 2,485 units of the pullover still on hand. We have 2,832 units of the Billabong Fleece Hoodie, 1,775 of the O'Neill Fleece Pullover, and 2,342 units of the Roxy Short Sleeve Logo Tee. We are taking the total on-hand inventory of what is currently on hand. We're not going to add the sales into this to see what we originally bought. We're only marking down what we have remaining. So that is why we're taking our current on hand, and that is what we are marking down, because this is what we are currently left with right now at this point in time. We've already sold some of these units at full price, however we can no longer do so with these units remaining. So we have the original retail of each of these, but now we need to create a markdown percent. Let's go ahead and mark down these styles at an additional 30% to generate sales. So I'm going to apply this 30% to all of my styles. So I'm just going to do a 30% markdown on all of these styles. So now, in order to figure out what my markdown dollar is, I will go ahead and take my $50 times my 30%. These are going to be my markdown dollars. So for the Roxy Fleece Pullover, if I am marking the style down 30%, I will be taking $15 off the retail price. Let's go ahead and fill format this, drag this formula all the way down. So for the Billabong Fleece Hoodie, I will be taking $10.50 off the retail price, and the O'Neill Fleece Pullover, I will be taking $13.50 off of the retail price. For the Roxy Knit Short Sleeve Logo, I will be taking $7.50 off of the original retail price. So these are the actual unit markdown dollars that will be taken on every single unit. So now the new retail for these items will be our original retail minus the dollar amount we are marking down to get our new retail price. So the new retail on these items will be $35 for the Roxy Fleece Pullover, $24.50 for the Billabong Fleece Hoodie, $31.50 for the O'Neill Fleece Pullover, and $17.50 for the Roxy Short Sleeve Logo Tee. So the total markdown dollars we will be taking, we take the total units we are marking down times the dollars that we marked down to get the total markdown dollars taken. So I'm going to film format this once again. Since we are dealing with dollars in the thousands, I am removing the decimal points to take away my cents. So we can see overall for the Roxy Fleece Pullover, we will be marking down $37,275. For the Billabong Fleece Hoodie, we will be marking down $29,736. For the O'Neill Fleece Pullover, we will be marking down $23,963. And for the Roxy Short Sleeve Logo Tee, we will be marking down $17,565. We will now figure out the totals for everything that we just marked down. So let's go ahead and insert a column after the original retail price so we can see the total original retail price for all of these units. So we will click on column E, right click on our mouse and select insert, and we will label this as total original retail. We will take our units times the original retail price to see the total original retail value for all of the units. Let's drag this all the way down, remove our decimal points. Now let's go ahead and do the same thing for our new unit retail. Insert a column after new unit retail. So we will say the total new retail for this. Once again, we will take the $35 of the new retail price times the total number of units we marked down to get the new retail value. Let's go ahead and take out the decimal points here once again and apply this to all of the styles. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut column J, our total markdown dollars, and I'm going to insert it after the unit markdown dollar. So I can have everything just grouped a little bit more consistent. So we have our units, we have our original retail, the total original retail, we have the markdown percent we are applying, so we have the actual markdown dollars that we are taking, then we have our total markdown dollars that we are taking. We also have our new retail price as well as the total new retail value. So let's go ahead and sum up these columns. Our total units we are marking down are 9,334 units. The total original retail value was $361,795. We are now marking down $108,539, leaving us with a new retail value of all of these goods. All of the 9,434 units are now valued at $253,256. So to now figure out all of these items on a unit basis, we can take the original retail price of the $361,795 and divide it by the actual units that we marked down. So we can see the total number of units that we marked down. All of the styles on average retailed for $38.35. Once again, we can see how many dollars we had marked down per item. So we will take our total markdown dollars divided by the total units marked down, and we can see each style got marked down on average of $11.51. And we can also look at the new retail dollars per unit. So we will take the total new retail and divide it by the total number of units that were marked down. So all of these units are now at about $26.85. So we had 9,434 units we marked down. They were all about $38.35 on average. We took about $11.51 off of their price, with now the unit sitting at $26.85. So this is currently how we can go ahead and figure out the totals for all of these items. Next, we can double check our markdown percent. We said we did 30%, so let's double check. So we have our total markdown dollars divided by our total original retail dollars, and that gives us a markdown rate of 30%. So what we said we did is exactly what happened. Let's go ahead and bold this. We'll add a label on it for total. Highlight it yellow so we can put emphasis on what we did. And that is exactly how we have marked down all of our styles with a sell-through percent of less than 20%. This is it for Excel exercise number 4.